The first ever live-action Bambi movie is in theaters now, and it's fun for the whole family. Don't even worry about that evil-sounding subtitle. Watch this alongside the new Lilo and Stitch, folks. Let's talk a little bit about the latest creature feature entry in the poohniverse. Hey everybody, I'm Killjoy Jake, and instead of having friends, I have horror movies. Haha! Did you know you could get this on a shirt at the shop? You can. Speaking of other things I want to plug, and then I'll shut the up and we'll get into this review, please make sure to subscribe to the page for more horror movie content in the future, and check out my horror gaming channel for coverage on the latest indie horror games. I'll shut up now, thank you all for your support, now into the review. The plot description for the new childhood-ruining horror film from Jagged Edge reads, after a mother and son get in a car wreck, they soon become hunted by Bambi, a mutated deer. The grief-stricken creature embarks on a rampage seeking revenge for the death of his mother. Just like the previous entries of the TCU, Bambi the Reckoning starts off with a bastardized animated retelling of the Bambi story, but with a sci-fi horror twist to it. It's one you've seen many times before, but arguably tried and true. Some chemical company dumped their product in the wrong lake, and now there's an ecological disaster going on and some angry mutated animals. And yes, I said animals. I don't know if I was crazy about the overall story this time around, but there is so much fun to be had with some of these campy sequences, man. It's very reminiscent of some of the other creature features we know and love. There's plenty of ridiculous kills throughout this one, and a sequence where Bambi, for some reason, uses a doorknob to open up a door. The pissed off mutant can be seen busting through walls and even doors multiple times in this movie, but for whatever reason, there's a chase scene very early on where he gets his hoof up on a knob and tries to twist it like a deer would know how to do that. It got an uproarious laughter from my theater. There's also a scene with a pack of rabbits that will have you rolling. Bambi the Reckoning has a very clear Jurassic Park influence that I appreciated, but at the same time made this entry a little predictable. At first, I really did appreciate the subtle homages to Jurassic Park, which was done really well here, but if you've seen those films, you can kind of see every move Bambi the Reckoning is about to make, and it makes it a little predictable, which definitely leads to a dragging at certain points. Those campy sequences saved this film and certainly kept me engaged. You can take or leave every criticism so far, but there's one big constructive thing that I really want to put out there about the future of the TCU. There's so much that works here. I loved a lot of the attention to detail from the original Bambi story that is somehow incorporated into this sci-fi horror creature feature madness. That was great. Attention to detail there is done with precision, but there are times where I feel like this story is just simply doing too much. The forced emotional subplots of Blood and Honey 2, as well as in this film, just don't really work for me, and we once again end this film with a very out-of-place, sad pop song. Most of the time, these movies know what they are. They're going to deliver some really goofy, campy sequences with some outrageous line deliveries. But ending this movie with a random attempt to pull at my heartstrings just totally fell flat in my opinion. I will say, however, this did work for me in the darker-toned Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, where the campiness was diminished and tougher themes were introduced, including childhood negligence and LGBTQ+ discrimination. The emotional stuff will work a lot better in a darker picture like that, but here in the hilariously titled Bambi the Reckoning, you're just not going to achieve the same effect. And that's totally okay. Most of the time, this movie executes the campy creature feature thing really well, but I feel like it's having an identity crisis with those hard shifts into a forced idea. What's so great about this connected universe so far is that you have all these different voices and a variety of subgenres that are all happening in the same universe, but also totally separate from each other. All I needed from Bambi the Reckoning was it to be a straight up camp fest like it is most of the time. But then you have something like Neverland Nightmare that can take a more sophisticated route. There is nothing wrong with taking either of those paths. In fact, it's actually kind of cool that we have an extended universe that could do both of these things at the same time, where something like Marvel or even the Conjuring universe just tries to do the same thing with every single entry. The TCU is refreshing. There is a ton of potential here to do something that stands out from the rest of the connected cinematic universes, but I really think that Jagged Edge needs to commit to the bit. The beauty of this series is the ability to try out a ton of different subgenres all working in tandem. That is easily easily my biggest draw to this series. The fact that Neverland Nightmare happens in the same universe as the movie I just watched last night is insane to me. I can't name another connected universe that is trying so many different weird things like that. I really think if these guys commit to doing a different subgenre and not kind of crossing the streams like how I feel like the ending of Bambi of Reckoning sort of does, they can really be successful with this for many years to come. And I also hope that this criticism comes off as constructive because, like, man, there is so much potential here. I'm seeing so much more effort being put into something like this rather than the majority of public domain horror out there. Most of it is just films trying to cash in on a suddenly free IP, but Jagged Edge has proven time and time again to be the cream of the crop with their extended universe, fleshing out something larger than any other public domain project out there. I am rooting for these guys big time, and I hope this upward trend continues. This is more of a personal thing, but this was something I observed last night that I thought was just really cool. These guys have clearly garnered a bit of a cult following that I just think is sick. My friend and I last night were sitting next to two people in the theaters, and I'm actually kind of glad that I missed the screener in my inbox because I never would have had this experience otherwise. The two people sitting next to me were so passionate about this universe. Like, it was awesome. They had seen every movie so far, they were planning on seeing Bambi again this weekend, and they were hyped for Pinocchio Unstrung as well as the Poohniverse flick. We had a crazy, passionate, in-depth conversation about this movie afterwards, and I just thought that was awesome, dude. Everyone involved in creating this universe totally deserves that love too. Scott Chambers, Reese Frake Waterfield, all these dudes just super nice. I will be seeing every entry for years to come. I can't wait to see what comes next. What did you guys think about Bambi the Reckoning? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you all again for watching. Please subscribe, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.